The dumbest thing in your living room is your smart TV. Apple is about to kill it. You know the feeling. You finish a long, exhausting day, finally sit down to relax, and pick up the remote for that beautiful, expensive smart TV in your living room. You press a button. Nothing happens. You press it again, slightly irritated now, and suddenly the menu jumps 3 steps ahead. The interface stutters. The menus are incredibly laggy. The apps take an absolute eternity to load content. It is, frankly, infuriating. And I completely understand your frustration. We've been conditioned to believe that this is just normal. We assume that a television naturally gets slow over time, kind of like that old smartphone you eventually traded in or an aging PC. But I'm here to tell you that's a total lie. The real reason your smart TV feels like it's running on steam power after just a year is simply cheap hardware limitation. Look, TV manufacturers want to maximize their profits. They advertise those gorgeous, vibrant screens on the front, but what's behind that panel? Honestly, they are using the cheapest possible computer chips and the absolute bare minimum amount of slow memory they can get away with just to make it function out of the box. They do this to save a few bucks. And because of this corporate penny pinching, your expensive TV starts lagging like a bad dial-up connection just a few months after you peel the plastic off. But here is where everything changes. Apple is about to fix this entire broken experience completely. Mark my words, we are standing right on the precipice of a massive, fundamental shift in how we think about home entertainment. The way you, I, and everyone else interacts with our living room televisions is about to be unrecognizable. The leaks surrounding the new Apple TV 4K, projected for a 2026 launch, are absolute dynamite. This isn't just incremental evolution, we are talking about a full-blown revolution. Before we dive into the specific details, I have to give you a genuine warning. If you are sitting there right now thinking about picking up a Roku Ultra, you need to stop. If you are considering an Amazon Fire Stick, hold your money. Even if you are looking at a brand new, high-end smart TV primarily just to use the built-in apps, you really, seriously need to wait. What Apple is building is not just a modest update. This is a complete reimagining of what a streaming box can actually be. No one in the industry saw this coming. Let's start with the absolute brain of the new operation. The credible team over at MacRumors recently shared a substantial report that honestly made me do a double take. They confirmed that the new 2026 Apple TV will pack an A17 Pro chip. Yes, you heard that right. It's also set to come with 8 GB of blazing fast RAM. To put this into perspective for you, this is a truly staggering, bordering on overkill, amount of raw processing power for a device designed to show you Netflix. To truly appreciate how monumental this shift is, you have to understand exactly what that A17 Pro chip represents. This is the precise same ultra-powerful processor that is the heart and soul of the current iPhone 15 Pro. This thing is an absolute monster of engineering. It's built on incredibly advanced 3nm architecture. NASA called, they want their engineering back. This effectively means the billions of microscopic components inside the chip are packed closer together than ever before, resulting in blistering speed and, just as importantly, remarkable power efficiency. It doesn't get excessively hot, it doesn't waste electricity, it just delivers instantaneous, pure performance. Honestly, this is the first iPhone moment, all over again, but this time, it's for your television. When you put an A17 Pro chip inside an Apple TV, the real-world results are going to be mind-blowing. Your television interface will never, ever lag again. Scrolling through thousands of movies in your library will feel just as buttery smooth as scrolling on a brand new iPad. Apps like Netflix, Hulu, and YouTube won't just load, they will burst open instantly. You'll actually be able to switch between apps faster than you could change channels on an old CRT television back in the day. But this incredible speed is only half the story here. The other half is that 8 GB of system RAM, which is an absurd number for a media box. Think of RAM like the short-term memory of a computer. Most smart TVs, even the high-end ones, clasp onto just 1 or 2 GB of cheap RAM, and that's exactly why they constantly crash, stutter, and choke when things get demanding. It's why an app has to completely restart if you dare to switch away to check something else for 10 seconds. With 8 GB of RAM, the new Apple TV will hold all of your favorite, memory-heavy apps open instantly in the background. You'll be able to jump from watching a 4K YouTube video to playing a demanding, graphical game, and then switch right back to the exact split second you left off in that video, instantly. Zero loading time. None. It's a seamless experience that we just aren't used to seeing on a TV screen. And this leads us directly into where Apple is going to completely disrupt another entire industry. This massive upgrade in raw processing power is not just for smooth UI animations. Apple is coming for the gaming console market, and they are coming swinging. The US-based tech site MacRumors published a very detailed report specifically on the graphical capabilities of this upcoming device. Remember that A17 Pro Chip? It features a custom, 6-core graphics processing unit, or GPU. This is not just for rendering pretty movie menus, folks. This massive graphic firepower gives the humble Apple TV the raw, unadulterated strength to play actual, honest-to-God console games. I am not talking about simple, casual mobile games like Candy Crush or Angry Birds that you play to pass time in line at the grocery store. I am talking about huge, beautiful, AAA console titles like Resident Evil and Assassin's Creed. You will be able to play these massive, graphical marvels natively, directly on your television, with no latency. Think about the implications for you as a consumer. You will no longer need to run out and buy an expensive, dedicated gaming console for $500 or more. You won't need that giant, ugly, bulky PlayStation 5 or a monstrously heavy Xbox sitting under your TV and gathering dust. The tiny Apple TV box will run these games flawlessly. In fact, it even features hardware-accelerated ray tracing. Now, some of you may not know what ray tracing is, but in short, it's an advanced technology usually reserved for very high-end PC gaming setups that cost thousands. It simulates how light actually behaves in the real world to make lighting, shadows, and reflections in a game look hyper-realistic. This is tech that takes immense horsepower. Usually, you need a massive, power-hungry graphics card just to attempt it, but Apple has engineered the A17 Pro to handle this effortlessly. This means zero lag, truly cinematic graphics, and a real console gaming experience delivered directly to your living room. You just connect your wireless PlayStation or Xbox controller via Bluetooth, and you are ready for action. It's incredibly slick. Now, some of you are probably thinking, okay, that sounds great, but is it really that easy? Yes, it actually is. Apple is no longer treating your living room as just a casual side project. They want total dominance over home entertainment, and they know that to win your loyalty, the entire experience has to be seamless, smart, and premium. But we've barely scratched the surface here. Because the AI and connectivity updates they are planning are what will truly integrate this box into every aspect of your life. And I'll be showing you how that works and exactly how it makes this device worth every penny of the upgrade cost. Speaking of smart, let's talk about Siri. I know. I can hear the collective groan from some of you already. For years, Siri has been, let's be generous and say, a little disappointing and quite frustrating at times. You ask for one thing, and it does another. It's been clunky. But famously reliable reporter Mark Gurman from Bloomberg shared a major update recently, and Gurman is quite literally one of the most trusted and credible Apple sources in the entire world. He stated that the new Apple TV 4K is heavily tied to Apple's groundbreaking new Siri overhaul. Apple is completely rebuilding Siri from the ground up using local artificial intelligence. What does that mean for you? Because the new Apple TV packs the immense power of the A17 Pro chip and that vast 8 GB of RAM, it actually has the muscular processing power required to run all this advanced AI locally on the device. It does not need to waste time sending your voice commands across the internet to a distant, congested server farm, waiting for it to process, and then sending the answer back. It can interpret your requests right there in your living room, offline. This is what makes the new Siri blazing fast. But more importantly for an audience like you, It makes the new Siri incredibly private. Your data, your searches, your requests, they stay on your local device. Bloomberg officially reported that Apple is implementing a brilliant, best of both worlds hybrid AI strategy. They are combining their own rapid, on-device, Apple Intelligence, with Google's remarkably powerful Gemini AI for more complex, knowledge-based queries. This potent combination is what is finally going to make Siri fully conversational. You will not have to issue robotic, specific commands anymore. You will be able to have a natural, back-and-forth conversation with your television, just like you would with a human friend. You can ask Siri something nuanced like, "Find me a psychological thriller from the late 90s with that guy who was in that other movie," and it will actually understand what you mean. Or you could even ask it to, "Explain this complex scientific concept to me in detail while I'm watching this documentary." It is a game changer. Over in Taiwan, the respected tech site Mashdi reported on Apple's internal 2026 product roadmap. They highlighted a brand new, Fusion architecture for Apple's ecosystem of devices. Mashdi specifically calls the upcoming 2026 Apple TV the absolute key piece of critical hardware needed to showcase this new, intelligent Siri to its full potential. Your living room is going to become the nerve center of Apple's entire AI revolution. Another highly trusted leaker, Kasutami, confirmed this exact same internal focus. Now, while Apple's rumored dedicated smart home display device has been reportedly delayed, the Apple TV 4K refresh has now moved up to become Apple's primary hardware focus for the home. It is being meticulously designed to genuinely blow us away. Apple knows that the television is the single biggest, most prominent screen in your entire house. It is the natural gathering spot for the whole family. By injecting their most advanced artificial intelligence and their most powerful silicon into the humble Apple TV, they are making a strategic play to take complete control over the entire smart home experience. You will be able to control your lights, view your security cameras with no delay, and adjust your smart thermostat perfectly and intuitively through this new, supercharged interface. It finally makes the smart home actually feel smart, rather than fragmented. Now, let's address the big question. When can you actually buy this incredible piece of kit? The launch window for this device is becoming very, very clear. Because the new Apple TV relies so heavily on the new Siri and the Apple Intelligence framework, the accompanying software simply must be ready and optimized. Mark Gurman noted that the official launch is slated to happen somewhere between May and September of 2026. This timeline isn't arbitrary. It is very deliberate on Apple's part. It perfectly aligns with the release schedules for the accompanying iOS 26.5 and tvOS 26.4 updates. Apple wants the intricate software and the advanced hardware to launch together in absolute, perfect harmony. They are obsessed with ensuring the user experience is flawless and cohesive from the very first day you plug it in. There will be no buggy launch on this one. You will plug it in, and you will immediately have the single smartest, fastest, and most seamlessly integrated television experience on the planet. Look, the sad reality is that your current TV's internal processor is garbage. It was deliberately engineered to be as cheap as possible for the manufacturer to maximize their razor-thin margin. That's why it's a buggy, slow mess. But the 2026 Apple TV is being built with the exact same uncompromising premium silicon found in Apple's flagship computing devices. This is a device designed to not just last for 2 years, but a full decade without slowing down. It solves the nasty problem of the slow smart TV interface forever. It brings genuine, AAA console gaming straight to the comfortable center of your living room. It acts as an incredibly brilliant smart home brain and data aggregator. And it does all of this incredibly complex work while sitting silently, compactly, and stylishly under your screen. This is a cinematic powerhouse. Apple is not just playing the game, they are completely rewriting the rules. Now, some of you are probably thinking, but wait, I just bought an old Apple TV, do I really need to upgrade for a conversation with a remote? And that's a fair point, because you can just stream 4K now. But there's a whole other side of this story that nobody is talking about yet, and that's exactly where Apple is going to justify that upgrade price. So stick with me, because this is where the real money-saving tech comes in for some of you who are tired of that buffer icon. Let me explain what I mean when I say that the raw power of the A17 Pro is only the headline grabber. The way this device connects to the outside world is where the real daily use revolution happens for you. The popular tech blog Zero Wireless recently revealed a fascinating development. Apple is designing its own, custom networking chip specifically for this device, internally known by the codename N1. Now, to many, that might sound like just an internal footnote, but this is actually a massive deal. Why? Because most streaming boxes, and yes, even many smart TVs, use generic, off-the-shelf networking parts from massive suppliers, parts that are often underpowered or optimized purely for low cost. By building their own custom N1 silicon from the ground up, Apple is ensuring that the connection between your home router and your TV is optimized for performance, stability, and speed in a way no generic component ever could be. Apple isn't content to wait for the rest of the industry to catch up. They're designing the highway themselves. This powerful, custom chip will bring support for both blazing fast Wi-Fi 7 and Bluetooth 5.3 to your television. Now, for some of you, Wi-Fi 7 may just sound like a larger number, but let's talk about why this actually matters to you. Have you ever been right in the middle of a major, high-definition action movie or a critical scene, and suddenly, the quality drops into a blurry mess? Or even worse, the video just stops completely to buffer? It's an immersion-breaking moment that reminds you that you're just watching a stream, and it's usually caused by network congestion, too many devices, not enough bandwidth, or high latency. Wi-Fi 7 is the definitive solution to this problem, because it uses significantly wider wireless channels and employs much smarter, more advanced data management. But Wi-Fi 7 is more than just about avoiding the buffering icon. It is what makes truly high-end cloud gaming a viable, seamless reality in the living room. If you are a fan of, or even curious about, services like Xbox Cloud Gaming or NVIDIA GeForce Now, the N1 chip is what will make those cloud-streamed games feel indistinguishable from they are running on a local, expensive machine sitting right under your TV. It all comes down to latency, the split-second delay between when you press a button on your controller and when that action is reflected on the screen. Wi-Fi 7 eliminates that perception of lag. So, for those of you who aren't ready to invest in a $500 physical console, but still want a console-quality experience for you or your kids, this connectivity combined with the graphics power means this $200 streaming box is now a serious, all-in-one gaming option. The amount of value Apple is packing in here is just relentless. So, when you step back and look at this entire package, the landscape is incredibly compelling. You are getting a device that finally and permanently puts an end to that agonizing smart TV lag that drives you crazy every day. You're getting an unmatched, conversation-level AI integrated into your home. You're getting the graphics power of a dedicated console, with the smooth, high-bandwidth connectivity to support both native and cloud gaming seamlessly. It's not just a box for watching TV, it's the definitive center of the modern living room. And with a predicted launch in 2026, the real question is, are you ready to stop being frustrated by that cheap, underpowered interface your TV manufacturer forced on you, or are you going to keep waiting for it to eventually get better? Honestly, for me, the choice seems obvious. This is the device that finally turns your living room into a truly premium, 21st century experience, and I for one, am ready for it. What feature is the non-negotiable for your upgrade? Let me know.